Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn.
How are you?
Good. So I have been talking to different people about doing the Google ads, and I have one that I had a call with the other day, and I like them because they're like seem to really be on the ball with what they're doing, but they definitely want to do like more, like they seem more like a marketing company overall.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's what I'm looking for, although she said like she was going to give me a proposal and that it wouldn't be more than $1,000 a month, and that would include Google ads. And the other people I was paying $3,000 a month for just Google ads. So
How much was the difference? Say that again.
I was paying $3,500 for just the ads, and she said it wouldn't be more than $1,000 for the ads and then probably some marketing stuff too. But I don't like some of the stuff she was suggesting, just like off the top of her head when we were in the consult call, was like stuff I don't know if I wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. We need to find out whether, like, money aside, like first,
Right.
It's like buying things on sale. Like, do you actually want it? Or
Right, exactly.
are you just buying it because it's on sale? So we need to figure out if this company is a good company for you, and does their offering require a long-term contract, or can you test them out?
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And see, because then you can figure out, whether there's, good communication, whether they follow through, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I guess it's just so confusing to decide who to go with, and then I just get into overwhelm and I just don't make a decision. It was the same thing with like trying to find a copywriter.
Yeah.
So
did you ever find a copywriter?
No, I just like stopped. I just got overwhelmed and started looking for a Google Ads person instead.
Okay, so let's deal with the overwhelm part. So let's do Google Ads first, and then we'll go back to copywriter. So with the Google Ads, how many options do you have right now? Like, do you have multiple companies that you're looking into right now?
Well, I put the ad on Upwork, so I have a bunch of different people who've applied. I set up calls with a few of them. I had a call with one. I exchanged emails with another. I am supposed to have a call with another on Friday, and I figured I didn't want to set up like 10 calls because then I would just get like totally consumed.
Yeah.
So
okay, so and how are you evaluating if they're worth talking to? Do you have a good sense of that?
Yeah, just kind of based on their, Upwork gives you like how many jobs they've done and that kind of stuff, what their like success rate is, like people with a good amount of jobs, people who, are kind of articulate like what I'm looking for in their message, that kind of thing. I try to hire women when I can, so leaning towards screening through the women first and then going to the men.
Okay.
Yeah,
so how would you know if they were a good company to work with?
Well, I would feel like they understood my needs, and they had worked with companies who, and this one that I talked to.
Wait. When you say understanding your needs, how would you determine that?
So this is what I was just going to say. So the company that I originally had signed up to work with that I wasn't happy with, their example of, who they had a lot of success with doing ads for was like a national website that was for like searching for something stupid. Like find a dog sitter in your local area, like with our website. It wasn't like a service-based boutique high-end business like mine is. And one of the examples that they showed me, she did like a screen share, was like a landscaping company that does big like patio design projects and stuff like that. So that felt more in line with what my business is trying to do, target like a high-end geographically local market.
Okay.
For a service.
Okay. So if you went ahead and talked to these people, how are you going to know if they're good? Okay, so you have a bunch of hits. I feel like there needs to be some sort of test that you give people to filter.
Okay.
And I don't know what that test is because I don't run Google Ads. But like, I would probably say, and I wouldn't make it like a high effort kind of thing because you don't want people to have to spend a lot of time. But if you're going to work with them, something.
Yeah.
And so like, we're very clear on our, I don't know, I'm making this up, Devin, so you would know best, but like, we're very clear on what our SEO keywords are already. Here's our website. We're already clear on what our SEO keywords are right now for the New York area. What would you guess, but what would you determine based on our business, our keywords are, or something like that? Okay.
Sure.
So they don't think you're asking for them to do all this work. Okay.
Yeah.
Or we've been running SEO ads for the last 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is, based on doing X, Y, and Z. How would you improve on that? Without giving away all your goodies, right? How would you approach improving upon this? And see what they say, And, in an interview, I would want to know how often they're looking at the ads, what kind of reporting that they give, what their communication process is. Like with my Facebook ads person, I have a meeting once a week with her and she brings me stats and different things, right? And we talk through marketing strategy. Like what is their, but the ads we're doing are probably a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things she said, like, blah, 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 Facebook ads. I was like, I don't want to do Facebook ads. And she didn't like push on it. So that was good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to figure out how to like.
Yeah. I don't, a few little, like maybe a couple questions.
Oh, and I did actually ask them something that the other company like couldn't handle. So that's a good, and they did seem knowledgeable about that. So,
and I'm not against someone who wants to do other marketing initiatives. And I wouldn't necessarily write this person off because she wants to do Facebook ads.
Sure. No. And I wouldn't. Yeah.
But I would want to, think about what problems, this is how to adjust it. Think about what problems you've had in the past with SEO people.
Sure.
Okay. And then figure out 3 questions that, that are not leading. You don't like give them the answer in the question based on the question.
Sure.
But gets at, from what I understand, there wasn't good communication.
Yeah.
You weren't getting metrics. I can't remember what the other things were, but you're going to want to have them answer those. Like, how do you communicate with your clients? What is your service level agreement in terms of guarantees or return on investment or metrics or whatever, some version of that, like ROI. Okay. And then I would do the keyword thing, but maybe that's not that important. I don't know. You would know better.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely think of some stuff that I tried to ask the other people that I didn't really get clear answers on.
Yeah. That's what I would do. And I would actually, for the when I place an ad in Upwork, I haven't done this in a long time. My team doesn't, but when I used to, I would have questions. There's a way you can put questions in the job listing.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and so you can actually put those questions in, and it's required for them in terms of answering the ad. And then that would be a filter, and then I would have the conversation with the ones that answer well. Okay?
Okay. So when I go back to this copywriter thing again, I can do that.
Same. Yeah. Like, what's your process? What is your turnaround time? Where did you get your training? Right?
Okay.
What's your experience with direct mail copywriting? I think that's what it's called. Do you have a link to your portfolio? That kind of thing. Okay.
Well, with the sales thing, I feel like it's pretty easy because if they're good at sales, they can sell themselves to me.
You think, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I would do some filter questions first, and then I would block off time on your calendar and set up like short 10-minute or 15-minute conversations with people. And then see if, and one of your questions can be, do you have, what is it called? I'm looking to build a long-term relationship, but I'd like to start off with month to month to make sure that we work well together. Do you have a long-term commitment that's required, right? Something like that.
Sure.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good question.
Yeah. Just because this is all about asking for what you want,
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
What
I gotta go to my next
deserve and what
call.
my business deserves.
Yes, you do. Yep.
All right. I'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone's made for greatness, but not everyone executes on it. If you feel like you're hitting an invisible barrier and you're not living up to your full potential, join us at the Unstoppable Woman Income Breakthrough Summit, where I'll show you exactly how to get out of your own way, apply the universal laws to your business, and scale quickly. Learn more and grab your ticket at theunstoppablewoman.com/summit. Thank you so much for joining us for Coaching Uncut. If you loved what you learned today, please leave us a comment and let us know. We always love a thumbs up or a 5-star review, so thank you in advance for that. And if you want to take your life and your business to the next level and it's time to scale, please reach out to us and schedule a consult at theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. So that's theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. See you in the next episode. Rock it out and be unstoppable.